and there's blood in the foyer, and it looks like something possibly happened.
Mr. Prior, sir, he said your wife's dead.
To suck it up and to admit to it, and so you can move on. And that's what you really need to do.
I never gave a sample of DNA.
That's correct. We obtained a sample from a discarded water bottle.
When Carl Prier said goodbye to his wife Leslie on the morning of May 2nd, 2001, he had no idea that would be the last time he would see her alive. Her mysterious death would rattle the small Chevy Chase community for nearly 20 years, with the shocking twist that absolutely no one could have seen coming.
There were signs of a struggle, but no forced entry. In addition, police report no previous problems in this quiet community, nor do they see any connection to any other crimes unsolved in the county.
The following is presented from official police records, and much of the recordings have never been seen before. Please note that all individuals are presumed innocent unless or until proven guilty in a court of law. Leslie was scheduled to arrive at work at 10 o'clock that morning, and when she didn't arrive, her boss, Brett Reity, knew something was seriously wrong.
I then went again to everybody. I said, has anybody heard from her? Because this is unusual. So that's what made me sort of an alarmist in this whole thing. You know, she's very good at that. Why didn't she call? Sure. So I said, well, let's call her husband or her daughter and just see if she has an appointment, and then we'll know. So I called. I said, did Leslie have any doctor's appointments this morning? He goes, no. I said, well, she's not here. And he said, she's not? And he goes, that's concerning, Brett. And right away he said that I'm concerned.
Given that the Prier family home was only 10 minutes from Leslie's work, Brett, Leslie's boss, decided to meet Carl there. Brett arrived first and began knocking on the front door, but hauntingly, there was no answer. Carl Prier was not far behind, and together they entered the house.
I yelled Leslie. First thing I noticed was that usually there's that small corner stand. I noticed that was flipped over into the dining room. I think at that point in time, I believe Brett said it was something like, "Oh my God," or "We got to call the police." And that's when we turned around and saw the blood on where the door opens up.
Okay. What about in the front foyer? Wasn't there a rug there?
There was a rug there. There was a rug there, and the rug was over on the other side of the partition that was in there.
Was there anything else on the floor?
The only
other than what you saw, the blood and.
Well, there was a soup label with the blood dried around it on the floor.
This item Carl believed was a, quote, soup label actually turned out to be a flyer for Cake-Out Pizza. This piece of evidence would play an extremely important role in the coming investigation. Carl continued to explain his movements through the house.
Went upstairs, looked into the master bedroom, just looked in from the doorway, the front room. I didn't look in either one of the bathrooms upstairs.
Any particular reason why you didn't do that?
No. Then went back downstairs and went into the basement. After that, I think Brett was calling 911 then when I was coming back upstairs.
An employee, we just walked in the door, our husband and I, and there's blood in the foyer, and it looks like something possibly happened. The husband's looking around.
When was the last time?
The last time the husband saw her was 7:45 this morning.
Okay. Is there a lot of blood?
But it looks like there's possibly maybe a struggle, a couple things knocked down.
Okay. Can I ask you guys to step out of the house?
Sure.
Probably a 7-minute period between once we got out and when the police came up. The policeman came up and said, "Have you been inside?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Have both of you?" And we said, "Yes." And he said, "Stay out here," and they both drew their weapons, I guess to secure the place.
And they went inside?
They went inside.
Okay, and the officers, sir, how long were they in the house?
5-10 minutes, something like that. And Officer Barnett came out, and I'll never forget, Mr. Prior, sir, he said, "Your wife's dead." And, of course, broke up right there.
The brutality of Leslie Prieur's death shocked investigators. She was attacked after presumably letting the killer come in the house. The attack was sudden and extremely violent. The killer beat Leslie by hitting her head into the wall and then proceeded to strangle her. Leslie's body was then dragged upstairs into the master bathroom shower, where she was left for officers to find. This is how the bedroom looked when Carl checked. He had no idea just around this corner was his wife's body.
The autopsy has been completed. The cause of death has, we know, a contributing factor to that is blunt force trauma.
The investigation that would take place was extensive. Investigators knew it had to be someone that Leslie would invite into the house. Detectives interviewed all the neighbors who had very little information to share. Nothing unusual had been observed that morning. Investigators identified a long list of potential suspects with connections to both Carl and Leslie. When the investigation seemed to be going nowhere, they heavily looked into the daughter, Lauren's, connections. Her friends, boyfriend, and ex-boyfriends. 2 suspects emerged from her list of ex-boyfriends, David Utier and Eugene Gligor. David Utier was in the area during the crime and had a few interesting interactions with Lauren leading up to the murder. Eugene was also in the area and had a past of drug use and petty theft. However, there was a much more likely suspect in the detective's mind, Carl Prieur himself. It was theorized that if Leslie had been killed between the hours of 9 and 10 a.m., the blood would not have dried enough for the pizza flyer to stick to the floor. This seemingly countered the timeline that Carl provided. Crime scene analysts also found there was an extensive cleanup attempt, something investigators thought was unlikely if the killer was an unknown third party. Investigators served multiple search warrants on the Prieur family home, computers, phone records, DNA, and blood analysis. Carl, feeling the pressure of the detectives, decided to get a lawyer. On May 24th, 2001, detectives told Carl that he could come to the police station to collect certain items they had seized. When he arrived, they put him into an interrogation room and began to grill him.
Just forgot $1.
Okay. How you doing?
All right, how about yourself?
Not bad, not bad.
Good.
Let's see, I need to get you this.
Oh, about the doggone answering machine at home. Just to clarify that. Have you erased that or any of the stuff that was on there for the past few weeks? Is it still there?
You guys, I don't mean to show any disrespect, but I've been cooperating with you since day one, and I think I've answered enough questions.
Just about the answering machine? I don't understand.
My attorney said not to answer any more questions. And again, I don't mean to show any disrespect to you guys at all.
Well, I can't tell you what to do, Sandy, okay? I can suggest some things, though. You gotta live with yourself.
I sure as heck have to.
And sometimes folks, even if they're attorneys, can't tell you how to live with yourself.
I can live with myself.
Can't tell you how to do the right thing. Can't tell you how to put closure to some things. And to allow other people maybe to get closure. Specifically Lauren. Like I said before, we all do things that we sometimes regret. Doesn't make you a bad person. Just means that sometimes you just lost it for that minute. And I'm not trying to sit here in judgment, neither is Mike. But there's some things that you gotta try to do to set things straight, especially for other folks, because we all know what happened. And I think it'd be a travesty for Lauren for her to go through the rest of her doggone life trying to figure out just what the hell happened.
It's bad enough for her to deal with the grief of the loss of her mother. But I think also she's a forgiving person.
I would love to respond to these questions,
Well, you can.
but my attorney said not to.
Free white and over 21, Sam. You can do any doggone thing you want to do.
And as I said,
Sandy Prater? Yes. Hey Carmen, how you doing? Yes, I'm here right now. They're kind of grilling me. Mm-hmm. Oh, I did. To a degree. All right, will do. Okay. All right, bye. I've been instructed not to talk to you.
via the telephone.
Saved by the bell.
Without my attorney present.
Saved by the bell. Come on, Sandy. The inevitable.
Let me say this. I'll stay here all night with you guys and listen to you talk. But I repeat, I'm not saying anything unless my lawyer's here.
I want you to do the right thing, Sandy. I want you to tell us what, I want you to do what you need to do. For you and for everybody else, okay? I don't care if you got your attorney here. I don't care.
But let me ask you this, I'm allowed to walk out that door right now?
Absolutely.
Okay, then I'd prefer to walk
Then
out
you're
the
out of
door.
here.
Months later, police got back the DNA results from the crime scene, and to their shock, they found DNA from a male that was not Carl Prier. At this point in the investigation, there was little to go on. No standout suspects, no DNA matches, and no identifiable motive. Leslie's murder seemed like it would never be solved. Suspicion continued to surround Carl Prier for 21 years, until in 2022, a new investigative team decided to pick up the case.
Montgomery County Police working on a cold case, and they are asking for your help. 21 years ago, Leslie Prier was found dead inside her home. The murder, until this day, remains unsolved.
Her all the time, like the way she was, and she was such a wonderful mother, and that's how I remember her.
None of the neighbors heard or saw anything that was out of the ordinary that day, and this was a pretty brutal crime scene with a lot of blood, and you would just expect for someone to have seen or heard something.
But they said that they are confident, given what they have already with community help, they're hoping that would put them on a path to be able to solve this.
Police sent the unknown male DNA to have genetic testing done. It was matched to a distant relative of the killer in Romania who had a last name very familiar to the detectives, Gligor. Armed with this knowledge, investigators conducted the following interview with Lauren Prier's ex-boyfriend, Eugene Gligor.
Hi, Eugene.
Hello.
So I'll be going back on that water, right?
Okay. And I'll be able to,
If we
see when you,
need a break or something, we can let you know.
Okay.
Thank you. I am Detective Graston. This is Detective DuPoy.
Hi there.
From Montgomery County.
Okay.
I'm sure you're wondering what this is all
I
about.
would really like to know. This has been really really hard, whatever's
Sure.
happening.
Well, we're gonna get through all of that with you. We just have to do some paperwork real quick.
Yep.
Okay, so now that that's out of the way, we are from Montgomery County. We actually work in the cold case unit. We investigate crimes that have been unsolved for quite a period of time. We investigate homicides and rapes. So we were working on a case that came from Chevy Chase. And when we were going through the case file, your name was in there as someone that was related to the family, whether we have a big list of people, but friends, family, something like that. So do you recall back in 2001, Leslie Preer?
Yes, that she was murdered, yeah.
Yes. Okay, so that's the case that we are investigating. So you went to BCC with her daughter at the time?
Correct.
Is that correct? Okay, and what was your relationship with Lauren, the daughter?
We had dated.
Okay, and when did you guys date? Do you remember years?
Exact dates, I'm not entirely sure.
Were you in high school or was it after high school?
Yeah, it was high school. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Maybe like 1994 to 1997 or something around there.
Okay. And from your dates of birth, I can see you're a little bit younger than Lauren. So was she already graduated from high school, or were you guys both still in high school when you guys were dating?
We were both in high school. She had finished high school, and I believe we had dated for a few months while she was in college, but that was it.
Okay. So back then, when you guys were dating, where did you live?
I lived in with my mother in Rockville.
Okay. Do you remember the address or what street or anything?
I wish I did. I don't.
Okay. And you said you lived with your mother. Were your parents separated?
Yeah.
Okay. Where did your dad live?
He lived in Chevy Chase, and yeah.
Do you know the street or neighborhood? Or?
Brookside Drive.
Brookside Drive. Okay.
Yeah.
And how well did you know Lauren's mom? Like, was there ever any kind of a weird relationship between you two after Lauren?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I wasn't in touch, so I don't.
Okay. So you were never like dating Lauren's mom or anything like that behind the scenes?
No.
Okay.
I wasn't ever in touch. You know that.
Okay. So the reason that we wanted to talk to you is because a lot of the people whose names are in the case file, they've been interviewed throughout the years, and they've been asked to give DNA samples to compare to DNA from the crime scene. And pretty much everybody that's in the list has been talked to, has been eliminated as a suspect. Your name was actually in the file, but they never reached out to you or never spoke to you for some reason. So that's why we wanted to reach out to you and see if you remember or recall anything about the time when Leslie was killed, anything that you remember about your life at the time that like could be relevant, any relationships you had with the family or anything like that.
I really don't recall.
Okay. So from the crime scene, we have DNA from the person who was there when Leslie died. So there's Leslie's blood all over the place, obviously, but then there's also another DNA profile that was picked up from the crime scene. And we had put that into CODIS, our database from the National CODIS DNA Index System, and it has never hit. So whoever was there, whoever's DNA was also on the scene, has never been arrested. And that's why we were going through doing all of these elimination DNA samples to find out, you know, okay, well, this person couldn't have done it because we matched their DNA to it. So we realized that they never talked to you, never did anything, and we wanted to find out more about you and if there was any kind of situation where you could have been at the house at that time.
I'm a little confused. So to find out more and talk to me, why not just call me and ask me to come in and talk to me versus have marshals come and arrest me and bring me in? I'm just confused as to why that's the case.
Well, because we needed to talk to you in a controlled environment, and because there's a little bit more to it than what we've told you so far.
Approximately 2 hours earlier, Eugene was swarmed by police outside his home. The biggest secret investigators were keeping from him would be revealed very soon.
Could you tell me?
Well, we're getting there. I'm trying to give you an opportunity to be a little bit forthcoming before we...
I mean, I feel a little bit trapped here, like...
Well, you're under arrest, so you should feel trapped.
Right, and so I think, you know, I mean, probably asking for a lawyer is my best course of action at this point.
Okay.
Instead of doing any more discussing or talking about it, it just doesn't seem... I don't understand, so I'd like to have somebody...
Well, that's why we're trying to talk to you about it.
I know,
but we can't...
and there's 2 of you and 1 of me, so I feel a little outnumbered, and I probably would need some type of representation if I am under arrest, as you said, which I am.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I think that having a lawyer would be the best for me in my interest at this point.
That's totally fine, and we don't have to ask you any more questions, but we are going to just tell you some stuff.
Okay.
Okay? So from the crime scene, the DNA that was taken, we actually have a sample of your DNA, and it was compared to the crime scene DNA, and it matched. So we know that you were there at the time when Leslie died.
But I never gave a sample of DNA.
That's correct. We obtained a sample from a discarded water bottle that you drank out of. So you were followed, and we collected it after you discarded it into the trash, and it was swabbed and it was compared. So your DNA matches the crime scene DNA.
I don't know what to say. I have no recollection. I have no memory. I don't know what to say.
Okay, well, that's why we wanted to talk to you, to find out if there's any other explanation. But we can't ask you any more questions if you want a lawyer present.
Yeah, I think I should have a lawyer present. I don't know what to do or say. It doesn't make sense to me, so I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Do you have a lawyer that you...
No.
Okay.
I don't have to call. I don't know. I probably would call my girlfriend and ask her to help funds. I don't know.
You know, we wanted to try to see if there was another angle or another side to this story, and
I mean,
you know, we know
why
that...
would my DNA be there?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
So, I don't know. I don't know, you know? I mean, I was in the house, but it was years before, you know, when I dated her.
Correct.
I don't know. I wish I could tell you. I don't know. I don't understand. This is all very bewildering, very strange. Is there more that you're going to tell me? Is there more?
I mean, we've told you plenty. We can't continue to ask you questions.
If you want to keep talking, we can. But if you want to stop, you have to let us know for sure.
Yeah.
We can tell you more about, you know, what we think happened.
I don't... I mean, what you think happened, I don't know. I can't verify. I don't know. I don't recall. I don't have any memory. I didn't do anything that you're talking about, so I don't know. And I don't feel like I can... I don't know how to answer and go into. I don't want to try incriminate myself with questions. You guys are professionals. I'm not. I don't know. I really do think I need an attorney. I need to use the phone and I need to call someone and I need legal representation before I respond to anything else.
Okay, that's fine. We're not going to ask you any more questions. There's no tears coming out of your face.
I'm very dry right now.
You're dry?
I'm very dry. I'm parched. I'm dehydrated. You can probably see my eyes are bloodshot red because I'm just tired and drained. I don't know what's going on. You want me to drink water so I can tear? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't want you to tear. I just don't want you to.
What are you trying to say?
I'm just trying to say that this seems a little put on.
Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
Oh my God, you're so full of it. You're after. This is the police. This is, yes, like it makes sense. You know, it's in your eyes, it's guilty until proven innocent. I get it.
Well, honey, your DNA was in the crime scene. That's why, like, there's a reason.
There's due process, right? Sure. Due process. So you're saying I'm guilty before I've even been put into a court of law?
I'm saying that there's probable cause to believe that you were there when
I think what you were saying was the contrary to that. So okay, but I don't remember. I don't know. I don't know.
What we're trying to figure out is how your blood was at the scene that day.
If there's an alternate explanation, that's why we wanted to talk to you today, okay? So I feel like you just need to take a breath for a second, okay? That's what we're trying to figure out. Why is your blood there?
Could it have been, you know, an interrupted burglary? Did something happen where you didn't expect anybody to be home?
I have no idea. I don't remember. I don't recall. Again, you're asking me questions that I don't know.
I'm not
and
asking
I
you a
asked
question.
you did. You just asked me a question and I asked for legal representation and you guys are very smug looking at me like I've done something and of course it's innocent until proven guilty, right? Sure. Am I wrong or am I right?
You are entitled to your due process, absolutely.
This is insane. This is insane. I really don't know what else to say other than please allow me to, you read it to me, right? That I am allowed legal representation.
Absolutely.
This would be the best thing for me to do right now.
We are
I don't
not
understand.
going to ask you any more questions.
Nope.
You said you wanted to know more, so we were telling you more.
I'm sorry. I'm really on edge and
I can see.
upset and yeah.
Okay. You would like legal representation? That is absolutely your right. We will not ask you any more questions. All right?
I'm really confused and I'm really at a loss and I don't know, I don't have any recollection of being involved with any of this.
You keep saying you don't remember and you don't have any recollection. Well, but if somebody was not involved, it would be an adamant, I didn't do it.
Oh, I didn't do it. I definitely didn't do it. Like, this is absolutely, this is, you know, I've been an alcoholic in recovery for years now. I've been sober for years. And there are many, many times in which earlier life wasn't great. You know, abusive father, issues that, you know, but at the same time, this isn't something that I know I didn't do it. I know I wasn't involved. And I just don't understand how this has come to this. I really wish I knew. And I really wish I could give you some answers and give you more feedback from an honest perspective because I just don't know. I just don't know. I don't
know either. That's why we wanted to talk to you. I don't know why your blood is there also. I don't know.
Wow.
The only person that knows is Leslie, and she can't tell us.
Carl Priere was believed by the majority of people to have killed his wife until his death in 2017. Tragically, he never knew that Eugene had been the one that morning in 2001. Lauren Priere said that she was shocked by the news that Eugene had done this. She ran into him a few times through the years, and they even talked about her mother's death together. It's haunting to know that he lived 22 years of life with this dark, twisted secret. Gligor later pled guilty to killing Leslie Priere and was sentenced to 22 years in prison. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Thanks.